Good morning. Today on the channel we are going to take my 1947 International KB12 rat rod and upgrade this powerful Oldsmobile engine with the single barrel Carter carburetor and hype it up a little bit, see if we can make it run a little better and be a little bit more efficient. So my research, I have come up with this. A Sniper fuel injection. This is specifically designed for the Ford 6-cylinders on small cubic inch engines. And from my research, it is in spec to work with this Oldsmobile engine. The only problem is the flange is different size, and obviously the linkage is different. So we have to figure out a new linkage system and some sort of adapter for the intake manifold. And then we need to find a good 12 volts. We have to install a O2 sensor, and we need to upgrade the fuel tank to a high pressure fuel pump with return, and a temperature sensor. So all that needs to be done on this old girl to see if we can get EFI put on this Flathead 6. Let's see how it goes. We'll start slow and go from there. The first thing we need to do, the first easy thing, is to add our O2 sensor to the exhaust system. So we're going to just drill a hole in the exhaust pipe and put this clamp on, drill a hole and put the sensor in there, clamp it onto the pipe, and you're good to go. So let's do that first. Got my Christmas tree bit. And there we are. You can see that that exhaust is actually copper, but you couldn't tell anymore because it's so weathered. Alright, that's done. Well, the adapter doesn't fit because it's not made for copper drain line, so we're going to have to build a little wedge, put it on the back side, tighten it up. So I just made a wedge out of a piece of galvanized pipe, stick it on the back side. That should fill up the space. So I'll have a galvanized pipe spacer on a stainless steel bracket on a copper pipe. What's wrong with that? Step 1 complete. Sensor installed. Let's take this carburetor off. universal. Cotter key? No. Nail. Alright, there's the Carter. So the intake is right there. And we want to put this Ford EFI on here. And they are not the same holes. It don't fit. And even if it did fit, the butterfly would hit. So we need some sort of extension and adapter to get this up higher, and also, well, maybe it wouldn't have to be up higher, but we gotta get the bolts right. I could waller that out, but I don't really want to. So I have another idea. So on the bottom of this Carter carburetor is this bottom butterfly, and it's bolted onto the carburetor, and the spacing is different at the top than it is at the bottom. So I'm wondering if I can use this spacer butterfly, yank all the guts out of it, and then bolt it to the EFI and use it as a spacer adapter. So I went ahead and bought one on eBay for like 13 bucks. That's the spacer, and then I just hollowed all the gunk out of it because I don't need it. And then I JB welded all the orifices and air holes. So this is going to essentially be just a spacer now. And that is supposed to drop right on. And then that'll drop right onto that. It's definitely not too high. And the linkage is, there. So that might work. Let's get some bolts. Removing the gas tank to add the return and the new high pressure fuel pump. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, fuel pump is removed and emptied, and we've got it up here on a work stand. And here is the old outlet, and this is the old drain. So I'm hoping that I can use this for the new outlet and use this for the return. This was fixed a couple years ago with JB Weld because the solder started to leak. But it's super good gas tank, fits right where it should, and is in really good shape actually. So, all right, let's get this stuff out. Bracket for the fuel pump. Fittings. High pressure fuel line. That's a tool for assembling it. Tie downs. Instructions. Oh, and that's a pump. That's a heavy duty pump. It's heavy, literally. Oh, cool. All right. Well, let's see how this goes. Okay, got the 3/8 adapters, fuel line adapters. Put on the tank, in and out. All right. Temporary hookup. EFI. Down there we have the O2. We have battery positive, battery negative, ignition, coil connection. We have a thermostat, but I got the wrong plug for the thermostat. Hopefully it'll work without the thermostat. The fuel pump relay. The gas tank temporarily plumbed with the new high pressure pump. And the old fuel filter, just to make sure it's clean. And we have our display here. So we're going to hit the ignition and see what happens. All right, just turned on the ignition. I heard the fuel pump run. And we have something on the display. And it says, what? Battery volts 12.3, low EER. What does that mean? Time to shovel shoot.
Quiet down. Quiet down. Let's stay cool, people. Procedures, I need another computer up in the RTCC. I want everybody to alert your support teams. Wake up anybody you need, get them in here. Let's work the problem, people. Let's not make things worse by guessing.
Okay, so did a little research and found out that it will not run without the correct temperature sensor. So I had to get a new temperature sensor, and that's now installed along with our fuel tank setup. There's a new temperature sensor there, and 12-volt wires, relay for the fuel pump, and the O2 sensor as before. So everything is now hooked up. So now we're going to give it a try on the screen and see what it does. Okay, that's the screen we're supposed to have at startup, and it's been programmed for the 6-cylinder. So we're going to go ahead and start it, and it's running, and it's doing its thing. Really running super rough. So I think what I'm going to do is reboot it and try it again. You go wizard, and then you That one. Next. 6-cylinder. Next. Engine displacement. 256. This touchpad's terrible. Terrible. All right, 256. Oh, jeez, what a pile. What a pile. What a pile. This touchpad is garbage. 256. Next. Stock cam. Foil. Start. Okay. Restart. Monitor. Monitor. Jesus. This multi-gauge air fuel. Start. Now watch that. It's adjusting. Trying to find the fuel mixture. This fuel mixture should be 12.7. That's what it's sensing. And 145 degrees. Not a temperature yet. Back to -50 again. So That's what it is. Running pretty good right now. Let's see if we can get that temperature to go up a little bit. Let's get to 160.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
All right, well, learned a few things by calling Holley Sniper on this unit. First problem I had was my truck will not go to 160 degrees no matter how hard I tried. So I called technical support and they told me how to adjust the temperature threshold. And they also told me that using a pencil or stylus works way better on the touchpad, which is true. So I got those two things sorted out, and now we are just gonna take the truck and do multiple drives with it, bring it up to temperature, and see if the EFI computer adjusts as it's supposed to, and if it starts running a little better. So that's pretty much everything I've got for you for this first video. We'll revisit it when it's had a little time to learn, and I'll share my thoughts with you then. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.